What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing this flush trim router bit that was sent to me from Find by Tool. Right out of the box, you can tell it's built out of some sturdy material. It's got a 1/2-inch shank and it's made out of tungsten steel carbide. It has 14 different blades here, and it even came with a tool that you can loosen to turn them numbered 1 through 4, or you can even replace them. But they do need to be torqued back when they're replaced or anytime you rotate them. But we'll get into that later on. So this is great for hardwood, softwood, and even plywood. So stick around. I'm going to put it through a couple tests, and I'll come back at the end and tell you what I think about it. Let's get into the video. For the first test, I had some 5/8 inch thick pine boards straight off of a pallet. No premium lumber, no perfect grain, just real stuff, knotty pine that loves to splinter every time I've ever used a router with it. This is where most flush trim bits start to fuzz up on the edges, especially on the softer wood. Pine can tear out fast, and if the cut isn't clean, you'll have a lot of problems. But that helical shear angle really did slice the fibers instead of chopping them. In theory, smoother cut, less chatter, and a cleaner edge. No fuzz, no burning, and no chip out, even coming off of that grain transition. That's pallet pine, and it's cutting like finished stock. First test, it's not just cutting wood, it's slicing into it. Alright, so next up is a 3/4 inch plywood. Now this is where things get real interesting. Plywood isn't just wood, it's layers of the alternating grain, glue lines, void sometimes, and it will absolutely expose a weak flush trim bit. If it tears out, it's usually right there, the top veneer layer, especially when you exit the cut. Same setup, same pass. Let's see how this head insert design handles cross grain transitions. You can actually hear the difference. It's not that harsh chopping sound you get from a straight bit. It's smoother and more of a slicing tone. This is where the spiral geometry really matters. The shear angle is constantly engaging the fibers at an angle instead of slamming straight into them. Now that's a clean edge. So no lifting on the veneer, no blowout on the exit, and look at the glue lines, even those are smooth. That edge is ready for light sanding, not repair work. And the bottom edge, it's the same story, there's no splintering there either. This is usually where the cheaper flush trim bits I normally use start to show their weakness. They get heat up, they burn the edges, and the little chips along the veneers always cause issues. But this is consistent. That shear combined with the insert carbide is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So the pine looked good and the plywood looks way better. Now the real question is, how far can I push it before I encounter issues? So now I decided to stop playing nice. I pulled out some 7/8 inch thick black walnut. This is some old solid stuff, and it's a real hardwood with a tight grain. It will absolutely punish a weak flush trim bit, let me tell you from experience. There's going to be chatter, there's going to be burning, and there's going to be some tear out. This is where it always seems to show up. But this is the same bit, the same setup, and the same speed. You can feel the resistance difference immediately when the walnut starts to push back. This is where the geometry of the head really matters. The angle keeps the cut progressive instead of slamming into the grain. The end grain also is usually where I get burn marks. So that right there is very impressive to me. No burn marks at all, no ripple, and no chatter lines. And did you see the end grain, how clean it was? There was no blowout either. That edge feels machined, and just a little bit of minimal sanding will be needed to finish this project. This is the kind of cut you expect from a premium compression spiral, not a bulky flush trim bit. Pallet pine, clean. Plywood veneers, clean. Solid black walnut, still clean. This thing isn't just surviving hardwood, it's dominating it. So now the question isn't whether it works, the question is how long can it stay this sharp? Now for the final test, the grand finale. I'm going to run 1.5 inch thick 2x4 against it. This isn't a light cleanup pass anymore. This is a full depth using over half of the entire cutting length of the bit, all working together at once. That's a lot of material, a lot of fiber, and a lot of opportunity for the chatter or the deflection. It's the same bit as before, no adjustments, and let's see how good it handles this thickness. You can hear it loading up, but it's not struggling. The cut stays consistent, no violent vibration, and no grabbing. This is where straight bits usually start to complain, especially in construction lumber. Grain changes, density changes, and sometimes hidden knots. But this bit keeps the cut progressive. Instead of hammering straight into the wood, it's slicing through it. I'm taking little chunks off. Normally I would just cut these corners off, but I wanted to give it a full test just to see what it was capable of. So that's pretty clean. It's not washboarding, there's no burn streaks, and no chip out. And this construction grade lumber, even at full depth, the edge is consistent from top to bottom. That is the difference when the geometry is right and the carbide is doing its job. So pine boards, plywood, even black walnut, and now this full depth 2x4. The bit didn't just pass the test, it stayed smooth the entire time, and I was very impressed with it. I'm already thinking about how much time I'll be able to save in the future moving forward with this bit. I will still continue to just cut the corners off on a bandsaw or a miter saw, but this bit really will do the job to round them over without any issues. All right, so there you have it right there. This bit passed all of my tests. It did really well. I mean, I can't even really tell where it's even been used other than it's got dust on it, but everything still moves smoothly. You have that 2 3/8 inch cut height and the 1/2 inch shank, which is really nice. You can spin this at about 8,000 RPM. That is the exact max. Now I did most of mine way less than that because I was doing hardwood and I want to take my time, and you know, sometimes you get that kickback. So I was running at a much lower speed, but it did great. It did everything it was supposed to do. I went back and I checked all the blades. All the blades are still tight. Nothing came loose. Didn't have any rattling or anything out of the ordinary. In the video, I did 5/8 inch thick pine planks, just basic stuff, softer wood off of a pallet. And then the walnut was 7/8 of an inch thick. So that's a pretty good size hardwood. And this thing went through it like it wasn't even there. I mean, it was smooth. It left no splintering, anything like that. It didn't break the wood. It's probably one of the best rounding corners I've ever done, to be honest with you. And the plywood was 3/4 that I did, and the plywood really was impressive to me because I really thought out of all the woods tested that would be the one that would split and splinter the most. But out of all of them, it actually was probably the smoothest. It had the smoothest edges, and that was 3/4 plywood. And then the 2x4, of course, you saw at the end of the video, it went through that 2x4 like it was nothing. Now I could have upped the speed of the router and probably done it a little bit faster, but I wasn't in a hurry, and I just wanted to do a good demo so you could see how this actually runs, so you can consider whether you want to reach out to Find Buy Tool and order one yourself. I'll drop a link to their website below. I'd like to thank them for sending this to me to try out. It is very well made. It's rust proof. It's
corrosion resistant, and it's just an all around nice upcut flush trim router bit. So the tool is included, and just, it's good. I mean, I can't really say nothing else about it. I'm looking forward to using it a lot more. You know, today was just a little bit of test, running it through just to see what it would do. And plus, I'll admit, when you first get this and you pick it up and you hold it in your hand, it's a little intimidating. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's just a little scary. But once I put it into the router and got it set up in the table and turned it on and got to using it, the first few cuts, you just kind of just get used to it, and it's so smooth, it cuts so great. So there is a torquing specification on these I wanted to mention. It's at a 3 Newton meters. So anytime these blades are loosened and you rotate them, because you have the 4-spot rotation, anytime they get dull or maybe a chip or, you know, God forbid anything like that happens, they do need to be torqued back down to that 3 Newton meters. But other than that, I don't find anything that is just out of the ordinary. It's a great bit. And again, thank you, Find by Tool. And if you've not seen them, they're a company online. They've been around since about, I think, 98. And they actually formed the Find by Tool company brand around 2018, if I'm not mistaken. But check them out online. I will put a link in the description, and I'll also run one right here across the bottom of the video for you, and I'll send you a direct link also in the description to this bit if you would like to get one for yourself. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate you hanging out with me and spending the day. It's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed using it. And remember to like and subscribe on your way out. Also, there's a new feature. You swipe and hike if you're using a phone to view videos. I'd greatly appreciate it. And it helps boost small people like me just get a little higher up that ladder. But thank you so much, guys. I greatly appreciate it. Shout out to my channel members, K-Law and TS Tree. You guys are greatly appreciated. And I'll see you on the next one.